Hi guys, welcome back to Prayer and Penguins. Today we are back for another round of Penguins Choose My TBR. If this is your first time here, this is the TBR game that we play once a season to choose the books that I'm going to read. So today we are choosing my Spring TBR, so the books I'm going to read in March, April and May. We're going to be doing 9 rounds again, so kind of roughly 3 per month, to give me a bit of flexibility outside of this TBR, but still give me some structure and some priorities throughout that time. First, let's do a quick run through of my winter TBR to tell you which of those books I have managed to read and which ones I have not. So first on the TBR was A Long Petal of the Sea by Isabel Allende, which I have not read and don't think I will do. The next was The No-Show by Beth O'Leary, which I did manage to read. Then we had Mere Christianity by C.S. Lewis, which I am currently reading and just slowly working through it. To be fair, I'm not very far in, but it's still only kind of mid-February, so I do have some time yet. But I'm just kind of reading this a chunk every night as it's kind of non-fiction. That's how I like to do quite a few non-fictions. Then we had Ready Player 2 by Ernest Cline, which I have not yet read, and I was expecting us to get hold of this as an audiobook, but I haven't done that yet, so I'm not sure if I'll get to this one or not by the end of February. Uncertain. The next book was Where the Crawdads Sing by Delia Owens, and I am currently listening to this by audiobook. I think I have like 2 hours, if that, left on the audiobook, so I will definitely have finished this by the end of February. Next on the TBR was Kindred by Octavia E. Butler, and I don't think I will get to this by the end of February, which I'm quite sad about actually. We'll try and see if we get that on our Spring TBR. Next was A Good Girl's Guide to Murder by Holly Jackson, and this is planned to be my next ebook read. So hopefully I should get to this by the end of February, as long as I finish my current book in reasonable time. And then the last one was Someone in Time, which is a collection by lots of different authors, and I have not got to this one and don't think I will do by the end of February. So honestly, we didn't do great at this TBR, and hopefully we'll do a lot better in spring and see how we go. I've done better in the last couple of weeks. Most of the ones that I have read, as I say, I'm either currently reading them or I've read them fairly recently. So December just wasn't great for my TBR, to be honest. So hopefully March, April, May will be better. I am also going to be introducing kind of quarterly reading wrap-ups. So at the end of each quarter, so January, February, March, I will be doing a wrap-up of all the books that I've read in that time, giving you my ratings, giving you my thoughts, maybe some kind of highlights and surprises, that kind of thing. So you will see the first of those in kind of early April. So do make sure you are subscribed if you'd like to hear my thoughts on any of the books that I've mentioned. As always, I will link all of the books that I mention and talk about in this video down in the description below, so if you'd like to go check them out for yourself, you can find the links down there. But let's just dive into the game. So for roll 1, we are starting where we finished off last time here on Monty, and we shall roll the dice. 3. 1, 2, 3. Adelay Penguin. Okay, so for round 1 we landed on Adelay Penguin, and this means that we need to choose a romance book to read, because Adelay Penguins are pretty romantic penguins that gift each other pebbles, and that's very romantic and cute. So we're going to choose a romance book, and for this one I think I'm going to go for Dear Henry, Love Edith by Becca Kinzer. And I was quite excited by this one when I heard it, because it's a Christian romance that is not historical, which I'm not a massive fan of kind of historical romance generally. So I really want to try some Christian romance, Christian books that are more contemporary, more modern, and just see how I get on with them. I might hate them, I don't know, but hopefully I will enjoy this one, because it does sound really good. I think the concept is that Edith is coming to stay in Henry's house, but they're gonna not be in at the same time, kind of like is it Flatshare? The Flatshare? The Beth O'Leary book. Kind of those kind of vibes where they're not going to see each other, and they both kind of assume that the other person is very different to who they are. So they're not sure who this other person is. So he assumes that Edith is this old lady widow, and she's not. And then they start kind of trading notes. Do they start trading notes, or am I just telling you the synopsis of the Flatshare? I'm not sure. We will find out. Maybe it's a Christian version of the Flatshare. I don't know. But hopefully it's good. Round 2, we roll a 2. 1, 2. Okay, an orange So we grab our penguin jar and choose an orange. Random number generator TBR shelf. Okay, so this time we landed on orange, which are prompts that choose us one particular book. I have given the prompts a bit of a refresh, a bit of a shuffle, added some new ones in, took some out, but there are a lot of the same ones in there. If you do have any ideas of prompts I should add in, do share them down in the comments. I'd love to add some more different fun things in there. But for this one, we got random number generator TBR shelf. So I have my TBR shelf as a spreadsheet. If you've seen my reading tracker video, you will know what I'm talking about, but we're going to do a random number generator to choose a book from that shelf. So my TBR shelf currently has books from 2 to 92. So we're going to put 2 to 92 into the random number generator, and then go down, click generate. 85. Okay, what is 85? That's going to be fairly recent. Okay, that is the Wake Up Call by Beth O'Leary. So another romance to add to this TBR. As I mentioned, I recently read The No Show by Beth O'Leary, and I gave that like a 3.5 because I loved the concept but didn't really love the stuff it did at the beginning. That was just hard work reading, but I'm hoping that this is a bit more of kind of a normal romance, I guess. So this will hopefully be back kind of to how much I enjoyed the flat share and the road trip. But my understanding is that this is a romance of two people working in a hotel. I haven't read the synopsis in a while, so I am quite happy with this. This is quite a fun TBR so far, so let's hope it keeps going. Okay, roll number 3. We get 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Another orange. Back into the jar we go. Go from the bottom. What have we got? Random letter for the title. Okay, so we're back with another random generator. This time we need a random letter. We'll find a title that begins with that letter. Okay, so let's record. And a random letter we're going to get is N. Okay. A book beginning with N. None of my physical ones here begin with N, so let's have a look at the TBR shelf on my spreadsheet. Got No One Saw a Thing, Notes on an Execution. Okay, so for this one, I think I'm going to go for No One Saw a Thing by Andrea Mara. And this, I believe, is a thriller. And I think it's about 2 kids get on a train, and then only one kid gets back off. And it's what happened to the other child, what happened, what's going on. I haven't read a thriller about a child going missing, I don't think, since I've had a child. So I think this might be very, like, scary. Like thrilling, gripping, that kind of thing to me now, even more so than it would have been before. Or it might just make me feel sick. So we'll see how that goes. This is interesting. I don't think I would have got to that book in the next kind of few months without being on this TBR. So hopefully that's a good thing. Now we're on to round 4. 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. An orange again. Lots of oranges today. Let's give it a rummage. Here's one. A thin one. Same vibe as my last read. Okay, so we landed on orange again, and we got the prompt same vibe as my last read, which is a new one that I added in recently, so I'm quite glad this has come up. What was my last read? What was the last book I finished? At the time of recording this, the last book that I read was Our Bodies, Their Battlefield, which is a non-fiction about women in war and the terrible things that happen to women in war. And that was a rough read, really, really rough. But incredible book, 5 stars, but really tough read. And what gives similar vibes to that? A couple of options, I think. I think How We Disappeared by Jing Jing Lee could have some things in there because I think the kind of context of that book, even though that's fiction, the like historical context was mentioned in Our Bodies, Our Battlefield. Or we've also got Our Women on the Ground, which is a collection of essays by Arab women reporting from the Arab world. And I think the kind of conflict and women in particular, their experience of conflict could really be highlighted in this book. What do I think? What do I want to read? This is non-fiction. I do really want to read this. I got this for my birthday recently and I'm really interested. I don't have a non-fiction on my book, on my TBR yet, but How We Disappeared I could also read by audiobook. What do I fancy? Dilemmas. I think the responsible thing to do here is to read How We Disappeared by Jing Lee, because I can get the audiobook from that from my library. Let me know down in the comments if you think I'm making a mistake and I should be putting this on my TBR. I might get to this one anyway. I really want to get to this one, but I think for now we shall put How We Disappeared on my official TBR. If you don't know what that book is about, it is a historical fiction that is set, I'm not sure if it's set in Singapore or Malaysia, but it's about the experience there of Japanese troops invading those places during the Second World War, and particularly what happened to women in that time. I think that could be a really interesting read. I haven't read historical fiction in quite a while, so that one might be a good one to kind of help me get back into that. We're on to roll number 5. Where's the dice? There it is. 3. Oh, I'm falling over. 1, 2, 3. Orange again. I'm not mixing it up very much today. Orange. Add a book. Okay, so as you saw, we pulled Add a Book, which I don't think I've ever actually pulled that prompt before. So, great timing. This is where we add a book to this TBR, so we will now have 10 books on this TBR. And we need to go roll again. Okay, let's try again for book number 5. 2. 1, 2. Rockhopper Penguin. Ooh. Okay, so we landed on Rockhopper Penguin, which means that I need to choose a Christian book to read. And for this one, I am being pretty kind to myself and going for Babies and Toddlers, Nurturing Your Child's Spiritual Life by Rachel Turner from Parenting for Faith. This is a very small little book. How many pages even is this? Less than 100, it's like 76 pages. So this is hopefully going to be a really easy read, but also really interesting. My daughter is nearly 2 at the time of recording this, so she'll be 2 by the time you see it. Crazy. But this is all about kind of nurturing her spiritual life, which I think will be really interesting and hopefully really helpful. Okay, going for book number 6. 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Ooh, a red. Let's go for a red piece of paper. Ooh, the Underground Railroad. Okay, so for this round we, as you saw, landed on red and pulled the Underground Railroad. So all the red pieces of paper are books that are on my TBR, and I've purposely not updated that with newer books that I've got. So it should all be books that have been on my TBR for at least a little while. So this one I definitely got a few years ago at this point, and I've been meaning to read. And I haven't read many historical fiction books recently, as I mentioned. So now we have 2 of them on this TBR, which I don't know how I feel about. That's kind of intimidating. This is about a woman, I believe, called Cora, who is a slave in Georgia, and she meets someone else called Caesar, I think it is, and learns about the Underground Railroad and joins him in his escape. So this is a little intimidating just because it's historical fiction more than anything, but I have heard really good things about this book, so hopefully I enjoy it. Okay, rolling for book number 7. 3. 1, 2, 3. Oh, a yellow. We've had every colour today. Good. Ooh, a book in a series. What do I want to read that is in a series? Okay, so we landed on yellow. All of the colours, love that. And we got a book in a series. So for this, I'm actually going to choose The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes by Suzanne Collins, which is kind of the, what's the word? Prequel, that's the word, to the Hunger Games series, looking at Snow and his life and him being younger and involved in like the 10th Hunger Games. So I've got a hold on this as an audiobook from BorrowBox, so that should come in April. So perfect timing to read that during spring. To be honest, I've had very kind of mixed reviews, but I am also interested in seeing the film as well. So gotta read it first and find out if I like it or not. Okay, book number 8. Oh, 2. 1, 2, an orange. Which one should we go for? This one. Oh, this eaten a red one. Goodreads, lowest rating. Just lowest rating is always kind of scary, to be honest, because why do other people not like this book? Okay, so we're gonna go, I need to record my screen, but we're on Goodreads and we are gonna go to my books, want to read, and sort by average rating. And then this is the highest, so turn that round. The Bridal Party, I don't have access to that. Deadly Inside Scoop, don't have that. 27 minutes is what I'm currently reading, so that's not fun. Ready Player 2, can I really put that on a TBR 3 times in a row? Really? What else is on here? The Wake Up Call's already on my TBR. What else do I have access to? Girl A. Interesting. I kind of have to put Ready Player 2 on here again though, don't I? Okay, hopefully we will actually get the audiobook for this at some point. I think that's the plan. I'm kind of sad that that's on my TBR again. Maybe I will actually get to it this time. I'm not convinced. I don't know why I keep putting off this book. I really enjoyed Ready Player 1. I've just heard not great things and this isn't helping that. But, you know, maybe I'll love it. Maybe I will. As I mentioned, this is the sequel to Ready Player 1 by Ernest Cline, and this is like a sci-fi book. The first one followed these kids, young people, as they were trying to complete these tasks to win this challenge and inherit this virtual reality world that had been created that they spend most of their time in. And honestly, I don't know what happens in book 2. I didn't really feel like it needed a sequel, and that's kind of most of what I've heard about book 2, is just that it was unnecessary. But we shall see. I shall experience it myself and find out. Rolling for book 9. 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Another yellow. That one's still unfolded. Let's go for this one. Ooh, favourite author. Okay, so for this one, again, if you've seen my reading tracker video, I'll link it down in the description, but you'll have seen my favourite author tab on my spreadsheet, which is how I track kind of who are my favourite authors, how many 5 stars have they had, and see if they can, you know, like qualify for a favourite author by getting 3 5 stars. So let's have a look at that tab. Okay, so for this one, I think I'm going to read The Confession Room by Leah Middleton. Leah Middleton has got 2 5 stars, so if this one is a 5 star, then she is like official favourite author. That's just like a fun thing I do to see which are my favourite authors and who's got 5 stars. It's not serious, just fun. But The Confession Room is a thriller about an online forum where people just like confess to fun different things that they've done in this private anonymous forum until someone starts confessing to murder. So It sounds fun. As I said, I've loved her other 2 books, Your Word or Mine and When They Find Her. Yeah, When They Find Her. Loved those, they were both 5 stars, so I'm hoping that I'm going to love this one just as much. It's also on my Books and Bibles Reading Challenge TBR and my 24 Books in 2024 Challenge TBR, so definitely be really good to get to this one. And then we come on to book number 10. This was our Add a Book book, so our extra bonus book 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Red. Ooh, okay, no choice on this one. Let's see what we get. Please be a nice one. Homegoing. Okay, so the final book on our TBR is Homegoing by Jessie. And this is another historical fiction. That's 3 historical fictions we've now got on this TBR, which is intimidating, honestly. But this is a book, a historical fiction about 2 sisters. One's sold into slavery and then one becomes a slave trader's wife, and kind of following just those 2 journeys and 2 paths they take and where that leads like down the generations. So I think this could be really interesting. I have been wanting to read this for a long time. It already has a bookmark in it apparently. Apparently I got to page 5. Wow, good job Jenny. So those are the 10 books that I'm going to hopefully be getting to in spring from March to May. So let's run through those. We've got Dear Henry, Love Edith by Becca Kinzer, The Wake Up Call by Beth O'Leary, No One Saw a Thing by Andrea Mara, How We Disappeared by Jing Jing Lee, Babies and Toddlers by Rachel Turner, The Underground Railroad by Colson Whitehead, The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes by Suzanne Collins, Ready Player 2 by Ernest Cline, The Confession Room by Leah Middleton, and Homegoing by Jessie. So we have quite a mix. We have thriller, we have romance, we have sci-fi, we have far too much historical fiction for my liking, to be honest. I was trying to ease back into that, but apparently now we got quite a lot. We've got non-fiction, we've got Christian, we've got a mix basically, so hopefully that's going to serve me well for this spring. There are a couple of other kind of priority books that I want to get to in spring. So I want to get to Chain Gang All-Stars by Nana Kwame Adjei-Brenyah, which I have Hold On from Libby, as well as I'm Glad My Mum Died by Jeanette McCurdy, which is her autobiography, which I've got to hold on for May from BorrowBox. Then I also need to do my buzzwords. So in March the buzzword is character name in title, which is fine because I've got Dear Henry, Love Edith sorted. April is nature word. Do I have any naturey words? Underground? Does underground count as nature? Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, those are animals, so maybe that one works for that. And then every. I don't think any of these have every in, do they? No, so I still need to find a book that has the word every. Maybe You, Me, Everything by Catherine Isaac. Let me know if you've got any book suggestions that have the word every in them. I would like to hear those. But yeah, hopefully those are the books I'm going to be getting to in spring. I hope you enjoyed this video and found it interesting. Do let me know down in the comments what books you're going to be getting to, or if you have read any of the books that I've mentioned, what did you think of them? I'd love to hear. But we hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please do give it a big thumbs up and subscribe to see more videos from me and Arnold. We make videos all about prayer, exploring the Bible, living out your faith, Christian motherhood, all of the things. And if you'd like to see my video of my 24 books I'd like to read in 2024, which does include some of the ones I mentioned today, which means we're on track. But if you want to see that video, do check out this video right here. And we will see you very soon for a new video. Bye!